What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Off the Top Rope, Off the Mic Sports Network. So, the first count for Survivor Series ticket sales out in San Diego at Petco Park, home of the San Diego Padres, at the end of November, the first count actually came out. This show is not for another 100 plus days. It's going to be Saturday, November the 29th, from San Diego. And this is the first time Survivor Series has gone to a stadium type atmosphere. Bear with me on what I'm about to do here. So, first count of this show, the tickets distributed according to WrestleTix on Twitter at WrestleTix is 25,590. That is the first count for the fourth of the big four shows. Because basically you've got the two-night shows, WrestleMania and SummerSlam, and then you've obviously got the Royal Rumble. And then I would say the fourth of the big four is Survivor Series. Survivor Series is one of the longest running shows in WWE outside of WrestleMania. But it's been like a post-Thanksgiving tradition. To me, this jumped out at me because I was like, man, they almost have 26,000 seats out already, and the show's not for 100 plus days. Really? That's insane. And then you juxtapose it and you put it side by side, compare and contrast with what AEW just did in a baseball stadium. Everybody on the AEW side telling me it was a great moment and it was like, yeah, it was a great atmosphere. They did something at a baseball stadium, one of their biggest shows, their WrestleMania. About 28,000, I think, was the official ticket number for what that is. But I find it interesting that in a week where a lot of, WWE's PR may have not been the greatest in the world, with the whole Brock Lesnar situation, obviously, the change to their premium live events going to ESPN on the ESPN streaming service that they're going to launch later this month at $30 a month or something. And there's really a lot of vague details about what that's going to entail. I still not really 100% sure on what's going on there. So, that's going to be something to monitor. But even with the ticket prices the way that they are, WWE is on, with their fourth best stadium show, is on the verge of already surpassing All In Texas 100 days before the show. If that doesn't tell you where these products are, I don't know what you need to do, what you need to know. I would anticipate that there's a really good chance that 40,000 seats gets out for Survivor Series. Like, it could flatline at this point and they may not sell for a while, but you saw a lot of walk-up numbers for even SummerSlam and even for even for All In Texas. Like, walk-in stuff when they get to San Diego, and with the promotion of what they're going to do, this is going to be a big number. So it's just interesting to me that, AEW people spend so much of their time trying to prop up their product and how great everything is going there, yet their number one show struggled to get to 28,000 seats in a baseball stadium in Texas, by the way, which, is a great media market. San Diego and Survivor Series has never done a stadium format like this. They're going to a baseball stadium. Like, they started doing this with SummerSlam. They actually started doing this with the Royal Rumble, I think. Then they started doing it with SummerSlam, and now SummerSlam is the one that went to 2 nights. But you can't listen. No matter what you think about TKO, they're still this TKO and WWE. They're a fucking machine, man. Good or bad, no matter how much they're charging ticket prices, this is still working, man. This is still working, and for those of you naysayers who are going to say, hey, I'm done with WWE for all their charging, there's still people who are still into the product and are willing to spend maybe an arm and a leg to go see WWE out in San Diego at the home of the Padres, it should be a freaking cool-ass atmosphere that they're going to do war games in a baseball stadium. But yeah, that's fucking neat as shit. And to do what they've done in terms of business, tickets just went on sale. This is the first count, and they're already at almost 26,000 out. AEW had tickets on sale for 6 to 9 months, and got 28,000 for All In Texas, which was a great atmosphere for their show. But remember, this is the same company with that All In event at Wembley Stadium that did what? 75, 80,000 seats for the first ever All In 2023. Went down to 50 the next year. They had to go, they're going to a different atmosphere. And, they went to, obviously, the baseball stadium, Globe Life, in Arlington this year. And now they're going to go back to London in 2026. Listen, like, it just goes to show you that if you build up enough goodwill, people will, if you build it, they will come, as they said in Field of Dreams. And WWE for the last couple of years has done a really good job of building a foundation of more trust within their company. Now, some of the decisions that they've made lately may alienate people over time, but clearly it's not bothering people right now. So again, when I interact with people and specifically the AEW fan base who's like, man, everything's so great in this company. Everything's so great. The feds being bad, they're greedy bastards. And they suck. Their company sucks. It's a terrible company. Yet looking at it right now, man, both of you guys did it. Both companies have done baseball stadium shows. And WWE with their number 4, of the big 4 stadium shows that they are doing, and this is the first time they've ever done it. They're about to outsell you with basically 3.5, 4 months until that show closer maybe to 4.5 months until we get to that show in November for War Games Survivor Series. They've already outsold last year's Survivor Series. They've already done it. Like last year, I think was like 17,000 in Vancouver. And now here we are. And we're at what, 25, 26,000 with literally 100 plus days to go. Like this is going to break Survivor Series attendance records. They'll trump it out the gate stuff. You can do all that. But if you're one of these AEW people who is just trying to talk down what WWE is doing, no matter how they are doing it, they're drawing tickets. They're bringing people in with their inordinate surge prices. And until that happens, and until you're able to bring more people, you had 3,000 people in the lesser arena in Cleveland. On the campus of Cleveland State, I believe. You spent 3 weeks in a ballroom after your biggest show of the year. And now the Padres Stadium, baseball stadium, by the way, you probably had to pay to go to Arlington. WWE is getting paid by the city of San Diego to do that show, and they're still doing better than you. So all these bullshit narratives about how, hey, AEW is a better company or is a better company than, WWE. Listen, I get it. They're an alternative. The expectations need to be lower. But the more that people talk about this shit and, try to talk down about WWE and TKO and the way that they do business, it's still working. What about your company has worked really since, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes left? Nothing. This company has been dwindling down in ratings and, demos and, every sort of metric, ticket sales. It's not going the way that it should be going. It at some, in the early infancies of AEW, this was one of the hottest tickets in professional wrestling. Really, since Cody Rhodes and CM Punk left, people look at AEW as a joke because they keep propping up that they're doing so well, yet their WrestleMania is going to get outgrossed and out tickets sold by WWE's 4th biggest show of the year. Again, like they say on the internet, there's levels to this, bro. There's levels to this, dude. And WWE is on a completely different level right now. The creative and stuff may have slipped a little bit, but people don't give a shit. And as long as people don't give a shit and keep paying and an arm and a leg to go to these shows, TKO is going to keep charging more. And they're not going to give a shit. So everybody who's complaining that TKO is fucking greedy as shit, until they start losing money on all these decisions that they're making, And until AEW decides to put out a better product to, like, lull people away and who are potentially disillusioned by what the current WWE product is, nobody's going to take AEW seriously. So really, this is going to be a fascinating situation to watch down the stretch to see how much they're going to get in San Diego for a Survivor Series at the end of November. Anyway, we'll keep our eyes on that. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.